The studio lights blazed over the polished debate stage in Washington, D.C. Reporters huddled in corners, phones ready. Millions of Americans were tuned in. The countdown flashed across the monitors. 3, 2, 1, we're live. What was meant to be a measured town hall on Texas redistricting laws quickly turned into a political earthquake. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett of Texas sat stiff-backed, eyes locked on her opponent. Across from her, President Donald J. Trump, the 47th President of the United States, leaned back in his Navy suit, calm and unreadable. She pointed directly at him as the cameras zoomed in. "We should control the House right now. They're stealing seats to keep power. That's why we've got Speaker Johnson instead of Speaker Jeffries. This isn't just a Texas problem, this is a national crisis." A ripple of gasps swept through the crowd. The moderator leaned forward cautiously. "Congresswoman, are you saying President Trump is personally tied to this bill?" Crockett's voice was sharp. "It's his plan to rig the 2026 midterms." The room fell silent. Trump tilted his head slightly, a faint smile curving at his lips. The kind of smile that warned something heavy was coming. When he spoke, his tone was steady, but every word hit like a sledgehammer. "Your projection is cute," he said, eyes locked on hers. "You're about to lose your seat in Texas, and you know it. That's why you're spiraling, lying to anyone who'll listen." Gasps again. Crockett blinked, stunned. Trump pressed on. "You talk about cheating? Everyone knows Democrats cheat. With the millions of illegal immigrants you've welcomed in, with no voter ID, with endless mail-in ballots and drop boxes. And when that doesn't work, you censor, you sue, you carve up districts for your own gain." The moderator tried to cut in. Trump lifted a hand. "Let me finish. You assaulted a reporter. On camera. You take $1,000 a month in taxpayer money for a luxury car. It's in your own financial reports. You're a thief, a thug, and vulgar, to the core." The studio froze. Crockett sat back, pale, her hands trembling beneath the desk. The firebrand Congresswoman. Silent for once. Trump didn't slow. "What have you done for Texas? For America? Nothing but run your mouth while crime skyrockets and families lose everything." Crockett's eyes shone, but she forced the tears back. She scanned the room for an ally, found only dropped jaws. Trump's voice dropped lower, the calm before another hit. "You'll be forgotten soon, like Jamal Bowman, like Cori Bush. Not because of cheating, but because Americans are tired of corruption." A woman in the audience wiped away a tear. A cameraman whispered, "My God!" And still, Trump kept going. "You say I cheat? You've been cheating your own community for years. Look at your district. Poverty, failing schools, violence. You had the money, the power, and you wasted it on cable TV appearances and cheap shots." A mother in the crowd, who'd lost her son to gang violence, stared at Crockett, her eyes full of quiet anger. Crockett saw her and looked away. Trump's tone sharpened. "The people see it now. You're losing your seat, not because of me, but because your own people are done with the lies." The moderator's voice trembled as he tried to redirect, but Trump waved it off. "You want to talk redistricting? Fine. Texas deserves better. This isn't cheating. It's cleaning out the corruption that rots this country." The word cleaning hung in the air. "You represent Houston, right? Then why are your neighborhoods calling you a ghost? You don't show up. You don't fix anything. You just play politics in D.C. while your people suffer." Crockett's hand shook as she reached for her water, unable to lift it. Trump leaned forward. "You mocked me. You mocked my family. I let it slide. But tonight, I answered." She whispered, "This isn't fair." Trump's eyes didn't waver. "The people haven't been treated fairly. I'm just their voice tonight." The audience sat in silence. In the crowd, a young teacher from Crockett's own district whispered, "He's right. She's never stepped into our classrooms." Trump folded his arms, letting the weight of his words settle. Crockett shuffled her papers, hands trembling. She tried again to pivot. This isn't about me. It's about Trump stealing seats. Trump cut in instantly. You call Speaker Johnson illegitimate? Hakeem Jeffries lost the vote. That's democracy. What you're mad about is that the people are waking up. They're done with the blame game and the race baiting. Then he turned to the camera. Redistricting isn't about power. It's about giving honest voices a chance. Leaders who fight for jobs, safety, and schools instead of TV spots and perks. Applause broke out. Slowly at first, then stronger. Crockett realized the shift. It wasn't Republicans turning on her. It was her own supporters nodding along. Tears finally rolled down her cheeks. She wiped them quickly. The moderator, sensing her pain, gave her a chance to respond. But she couldn't speak. Her lips parted, then closed again. Trump didn't smirk. He simply said, "I don't hate you, Jasmine. I pity you. You had a chance to serve, and you chose the spotlight." The words hit harder than shouting ever could. In the back, a Vietnam veteran whispered, "He's not just winning, he's showing heart." Crockett's voice cracked. "I didn't mean for this to go so far. I just wanted to fight back." Trump's reply was quiet. "Then fight the right enemy, the corruption that used both of us for headlines." The room exhaled as if it had been holding its breath. On social media, hashtags exploded. Truth to Crockett, debate meltdown, Trump exposes lies. In Houston, a grandmother told her Marine grandson, "Yes, that's our congresswoman, but maybe not for long." Back on stage, Trump looked at the crowd. This isn't about rigging elections. It's about restoring representation. In Houston and Dallas on the border, areas Democrats have run for decades with nothing to show. Gestured toward Crockett without looking at her. People like this get elected on promises, then vanish. This plan will open the door for leaders who show up, fix roads, protect kids, and don't take luxury cars while families can't afford eggs. A boy in the audience whispered to his mother, "Is he talking about us?" She nodded, holding him close. "This isn't Republican versus Democrat," Trump said. "It's right versus wrong, and Americans are done with being lied to." The crowd didn't clap. They listened, still stunned. Then, the most unexpected moment of the night. Jasmine Crockett stood. Her eyes were red, her voice unsteady. "I came here to expose a lie, but I got exposed instead. I've mocked you, insulted you, but tonight I heard you, and I can't deny it. You were honest." She extended her hand. Trump stood, shook it. For one fleeting moment, politics gave way to humanity. Phones lit up across America. People who had sworn they'd never praise Trump typed, "Facts and grace. Didn't see that coming." In a diner in Georgia, an elderly woman whispered, "If he's the only one talking about the things my leaders ignore. Maybe I was wrong." In Texas, a father told his wife, "This ain't about Trump being perfect. It's about someone finally talking like it matters." Backstage during the break, Trump sipped water calmly. An intern approached. "Thank you for speaking for us." "It's not about me," Trump said. "It's about the people no one listens to." When the debate resumed, the moderator asked if America could heal. Trump paused, scanning the faces. Veterans, nurses, truckers, mothers. "Yes, but only if we stop pretending." The final question: what's your message to Americans who trust neither side? Crockett went first. "I've been part of the problem. I blamed instead of building. I mocked instead of mending. Tonight, I was reminded how much people are hurting." Then, Trump. "If you've lost hope in politics, good. That means you still care. Now let's rebuild. Not with rage or lies, but with truth, courage, and leaders who put people before headlines." The room rose to its feet, not as Republicans or Democrats, but as Americans. As the cameras faded, Crockett shook Trump's hand again. "You didn't have to go that hard," Trump smiled. "Sometimes truth has to hit hard before it can heal." Backstage, a 12-year-old boy approached. My dad got deported years ago, but my mom said what you said tonight was still right. Trump knelt, looking him in the eyes. I don't want to break families. I want to protect the country that gives them a future. The boy hugged him, and America kept watching.